What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to briefly discuss the limited edition Funko Pops that Funko has been releasing directly on their website over the last 2 months. Now, this is actually a huge win overall for collectors, as we have been begging for more limited edition or pops that are manufactured in low quantities for a long time. Pre-2020, we actually used to get limited piece pops dropping all the time on Funko's website. That kind of came to an end, and then we really only got limited piece Funko Pops as a part of Fun Days and Comic-Con releases. After that, we started getting more limited piece pops through the NFT program, of course. However, some people just still don't like the NFTs. They don't understand it. They don't want to get into it because there's a lot of other factors that roll into it. Now, with this new limited pop program, I think there's some benefits, and I also think there's some potential downfalls that need to be discussed. But let's jump into it. Overall, it's very easy to find. If you go to Funko's website here and you click the limited edition tab, Funko actually has released a schedule for May, and then they came out and released a full schedule for the month of June, which I think is excellent. It shows you everything that's going to be releasing. It shows you when, so you can schedule a little reminder or an alarm on your phone. That's what I usually like to do, or if you like to do it on your tablet, computer, etc., so you know exactly when the pop is dropping. This is also different from years past in 2020 and prior when we had drops on the Funko Shop. Sometimes it would be a surprise drop. Now, ultimately, that got really bad with bots, and I think Funko actually went away from the limited piece drops because of how many people were botting Funko's website, and it seemed like no collector whatsoever was actually getting any of the limited piece pops, which would force you to go to the aftermarket and pay these crazy prices for something that started out at $15 retail. Here, things are a little different, but we're starting to run into similar problems. So the most recent pop drop that we got was the Cthulhu Glow Deadpool here. Now, this one retailed for $50. You also had to spend 2,000 of your fan rewards points to get access to this pop. Yet it sold out. Despite the higher retail price, it sold out in 5 seconds. There were so many people apparently on Funko's website this past Friday trying to get this specific Deadpool that there was actually a major glitch, and hundreds, if not thousands, of collectors were actually charged the 2,000 points from their fan rewards bank, and then those people had to email Funko customer support because they didn't get the pop, and they had to get their points back in their bank so you can use them. So that is something that Funko is doing. They're charging you rewards points in addition to the higher price point. I think that's a little excessive. I understand there's this early access thing that they're doing and they're rewarding people who have fan rewards points. I don't have an issue with that. I just think that you should choose one or the other. Maybe have a higher price point retail for the pop, or charge people the rewards points. I think that if they dropped this Deadpool at $15 or $20 and charge, let's say 2,000 or 2,500 rewards points, I think that would be a better case scenario than charging both. I think both is a little bit greedy, but nonetheless, this Deadpool, limited to only 750 pieces, sold out in 5 seconds. I have no doubt that a lot more people are learning about the limited edition pop process here, so more people just know about it. Also, there is a huge opportunity to flip and make money on these props despite the fact that they are higher retail price. And that's what I want to bring up here. So if you go to the secondary market, if we go to eBay really quick here, this is just the fastest way I can show you guys some actual sold listings for these limited edition pops. The Deadpool, despite nobody having it in hand yet because it just sold out this past Friday, is trending for around $210. And these are all people that have purchased this pop hoping that the person did actually secure a pre-order. Obviously, if somebody didn't get it, you can, submit a refund through eBay and everything, but it's pretty crazy that people are willing to shell out 4 times face value for this pop, in addition to the fact that there is a common version of this exact same Deadpool Cthulhu coming in a few short months, which I do think is going to bring down the value of this glow pop. I'm not discounting that this pop will probably remain a grail at 750 piece and being the cool glow in the dark that it has, but I think having that common counterpart on the secondary market is going to allow collectors who don't want to pay the crazy price for the glow one just kind of settle and go, you know what? I'm fine with having the common, non-glow, non-limited Deadpool in my collection. Now keep that thought in the back of your head. I want to talk about the other pops that have sold out, particularly for the month of May, and give you guys some insight on what they're trending for on the secondary market. So if we go back to our limited edition pop schedule here, the first one that was actually released back in May was the Genya Demon Form Metallic from Demon Slayer. This one was limited to 1,200 pieces. It sold for a retail price of $40, and it's actually pretty crazy what it's currently trending for on the secondary market. Based on the sold listings that we have here, it's going anywhere from $200 to $220, which is pretty crazy because once again, we have the exact same pop, just non-metallic, same mold and everything, coming in a few short months. Now, it says this was actually released in February, but I think there is still a lot of retailers waiting for their stock on this one. So once again, once this is generally released to everybody, I anticipate the 1,200 piece metallic version coming down a little bit in price. So once again, Funko is double dipping here. Same mold. They just took 1,200 of these pops, decided to make them metallic, and instead of charging the $15, they're able to charge $40, and it's sold out very quickly. And I'm also surprised that the Genya here is going for so much, because based on the intel that we have from some of our anime friends and fellow collectors, is that Genya from Demon Slayer is not even that popular of a character. There really wasn't that much hype for this pop, so I'm very surprised to see that this one is trending for as high as it's trending for. Moving on, the second pop that was released, part of this limited edition pop program, was the one that I think a lot of people really regretted missing out on, and this is the beautiful Strawberry Shortcake with Custard the Cat in basket, limited to only 750 pieces. Anything 1,000 pieces and under in today's Funko landscape is just going to be expensive. It's going to be generally, desired by a lot of people just because of that low piece count. And then if you take another popular IP and mix it with that limited edition piece count like Strawberry Shortcake, you're going to get a pretty quick sellout. And I was actually on the drop for this one. It sold out in about 30 seconds, which was lightning quick. I unfortunately did not have the chance to get one, and I know a lot of people missed out on this one as well. This one is really interesting because if we go to the secondary market for this one, first off, there's somebody asking an arm and a leg and someone's firstborn for this. I don't know why they're charging $1,819 or trying to charge $1,819 for this pop. This is going to be sitting here forever. This is never going to be an $1,800 pop right here. But I do appreciate how they're asking free shipping. So free shipping is always good. But if we look to actual sold listings here of the Strawberry Shortcake, most recent one for $140, it's trending overall from anywhere from $115 to $130, which I actually think is pretty fair for a 750 piece pop. Furthermore, I also want to bring to your attention that as far as Strawberry Shortcake goes, just about all of her pops do have some pretty good value. This is the first Strawberry Shortcake that actually has a limited edition number piece count on it, and I think once people realize that widespread throughout the community, I could actually see this one going back up and being a $200 to $250 pop, just based on the fact that no other Strawberry Shortcake pop has a limited edition number on it. Numbers mean a lot when it comes to collecting. If you look at all the other Strawberry Shortcake pops though, this is not revolutionary. This is not something new that we've never seen before. There's actually several pops of Strawberry Shortcake with Custard the Cat. This is just a little bit of a different variation with Custard in the basket. It's super cute, but I think that this one will actually hold its value because there's no common version of this pop. There's no basic $12 or $15 variation or version that you can go out and purchase. If you want to get a pop of Strawberry Shortcake with Custard, you're going to be paying quite a bit. And if you want this 750 piece one, you're going to be paying at least over $100 for this. So I actually think in the case of the limited piece pop program here, Funko did a good job with this. Moving on to the next one here, I want to talk briefly about the Blacklight Mumra from ThunderCats. This one was not as limited, only 3,500 pieces for this one, retail price of $30. Still sold out, nonetheless, even though I feel like ThunderCats is not that popular these days. This one is currently trending for $70 on the aftermarket, and once again, we have the exact same mold, a basic common version of Mumra here coming to Funko. They're going to be releasing it here in the next few months. So if you missed out on the Blacklight one and you don't want to pay $70, you could actually pay $15 for this non-Blacklight one that is coming very soon. The last pop that was released or has sold out so far from the limited piece program here is the Diamond Cinnamoroll with cake. Now, this one was the least limited out of all the pops they've released thus far. 7,500 pieces, $20 retail, still sold out. And once again, we have it trending for $35 on the aftermarket, and it has a common counterpart that's actually been on the market for 8 months. So despite there already being the basic non-diamond version of this pop, this still sold out, and people are willing to pay about double what it went for on the secondary market. So where does that leave us in terms of this limited edition pop program? I think it's literally genius for Funko. I think it's going to bode very well for them as a company, considering 4 out of the 5 limited edition pops that have been released thus far either have a common basic version coming soon or already on the market. So Funko only had to make the mold once, and they were able to make 2 versions of that product and double dip and make money off of it, which is a very smart business decision. From a collector standpoint, I really hope that we see more drops like the Strawberry Shortcake. I want to see more sub 1,000 limited edition pops dropping on the website for us to try to get. And I also want to see more creativity, more one-off characters, maybe some IPs that we don't normally get, like Strawberry Shortcake. Seeing something drop as one of these limited edition pops that's either coming as a basic pop or already in existence as a common pop just doesn't get me that excited, and it doesn't get me wanting to go out on the aftermarket and spend a lot of money. And I would venture to think that a lot of you guys are in the exact same boat. Now, looking ahead to the other pops and other limited edition pieces that are on the schedule for June, unfortunately, nothing really hits the points that I just mentioned. We have a Miles Morales Spider-Man coming with Gwen. They're both going to be this new deco style of pop dropping on June 20th. They're both going to be not very limited, in my opinion, 7,500 pieces. They're only going to retail for $20 each. I'm sure they'll still sell out just because, this is a new program. It's exciting. There's some opportunity for people to flip these, but I don't think that these are different and special enough to warrant their own limited edition releases through this program. We're also getting a City Hunter from Predator 2, 3,500 piece drop that's happening on June 27th. And then arguably the most exciting drop that we have coming up here in the month of June is actually not a Funko Pop. Now, it's also the most expensive drop that we're getting with the Optimus Prime Jumbo-chan. I think it looks incredible. It's only going to be 1,200 pieces, and even though I'm not a huge fan of the Jumbo-chan figures, I think this is the perfect way to release this style of figure. I have no doubt that it will sell out. I'm sure people will be happy to spend their rewards points on this, and I think this actually has the potential to be the most sought-after Jumbo-chan figure that they've released thus far. Now, with Funko continuing to drop these pops, and with the ones that have sold out already, we have seen a huge problem start to formulate. With these dropping and selling out within seconds, I think people are starting to figure out how to use bots. They're using multiple accounts. They have backdoor links, and that is just going to prevent collectors from getting these limited edition pops. At the end of the day, Funko does not care who buys them. If they make the money and it sells out, they are golden. But at the same time, I think as collectors, we don't have to worry about these yet. And I would actually encourage you guys not to pay the premium secondary market prices for all of these, with the exception of the Strawberry Shortcake, because they all have common counterparts or basic variations that you can buy for significantly cheaper. And that is going to bring us to today's Monday Motivation. Every single week, we like to bring you guys a small piece of Monday Motivation to help kickstart your week and get you through the toughest day of the week, which is typically Monday. And please, if you are excited about any of these pops, do not panic if you do not get one of these on the drop. I was very frustrated the other day. I tried for the Deadpool this past Friday, sold out lightning quick as I mentioned, and I was a little bummed. But when I learned there was a common counterpart coming, I realized that the limited edition Glow Deadpool is probably going to drop in price at the end of the summer, maybe in the fall or winter. You might have to wait a little bit for some of these to come down in price, but as a collector, especially here in the Funko part of things, that's just part of the game. So I would encourage you guys, do not get frustrated. Don't get upset. Don't beat yourself up. You know, don't try to improve your Wi-Fi or cancel your provider or do anything crazy just because you're upset that you didn't get one of these pieces. I still think Funko is in a beta stage with dropping these pops. They're experimenting. They're seeing what is selling, what piece counts are going quicker than others. But overall, I don't think they're dropping anything except for that strawberry shortcake that is really groundbreaking. So on the Funko side, I hope to see more creativity. On the collector side, no need to panic. And I think if you do want one of these, Deadpool being a great example, I think it's going to be coming down quite a bit in value over the next few months. Now, if you were able to get any of these from the drop, definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Did you enjoy the process? Was it frustrating? Did it give you a little anxiety? I know for me, I get so nervous during one of these drops. I'm always afraid I'm going to screw up my address or click the wrong thing and then just miss out. But it didn't matter on Deadpool. I missed out on it anyway. But love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. I think Funko has a lot of improvement. I like where they're going, but I think that I would like to see some different things dropping with some more creativity. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and as always, don't stop shooting until you score.